All right. I think I'm live at 1:30 in the morning. What the heck? Anyways, I was up late doing some research and training videos, and I thought I'd play with Yardstream. So here we are. I'm going to do this live at 1:30 in the morning. If you're Hopefully you get something out of it. I'm playing with the background as well. Hey, my name's Matthew Cox. I am the founder of MC Training Consulting Group. And so I was getting on here playing, and I just had a random thought as I was reading and doing some training videos at night. Usually I try not to pull too many late nights. But here's a topic I wanted to share with you. If you're a leader, entrepreneur, or a influencer of some sort, I was just going through a book off a training I've been training my executives in my own organization, and it's a really good book. And I had some aha moments. And if you're a CEO or a VP or a leader, this is for you. This book is by Patrick Lencioni. It's a great book. I'm going through all of his books again. Sometimes throughout the year, I'll choose an author and I'll revisit their books. And his book is one of my favorite books. Is the Five Transgressions of a CEO. If you haven't read it, I really encourage you to go read it. And I just want to late night video before I finally go to bed share a few things, because here on LinkedIn, lots of professionals, lots of noise, lots of people running around trying to make deals, lots of people in your inbox. But here's the thing I found in leadership, and lots of mastermind groups, mastermind this, mastermind that, and it really just comes down to the simplistic concepts of to good to great. These are concepts that have been sound of time and a lot of things like Maxwell teaches. And here's what they are. And I'll just go through them and hopefully you'll get something from them. From my late night venture. It's usually when I have the best thoughts is very late. And here's where it is. And since I'm a little tired, I might use the word a lot. So please forgive me. So the first one is status over results. Think about this, status. You've heard this. And if you've ever heard a leader say, or an owner say, I am the boss, or I am the CEO, and you will listen. This is overcoming, it's focusing on your title versus the results or the outcome. And it's politicking. It's positioning, it's posturing, because one, you don't have the respect of those that you lead, so you have to use your status, or you're so worried about your status. And so this is a very dangerous thing. As he says, one of the temptations, temptation one. And I love this book because he uses it as a story. There's a janitor that's talking to a CEO on a train. I really encourage you to just listen to the book if you can on Audible. It's a very pleasurable story. It really puts it into perspective. So the one thing on this one, choosing the status, it says, do you personally consider a professional failure when your organization fails to meet its objectives? Do you, as a CEO or a VP or a leader, take that personally? Or is it everybody else's fault and it's all your status and you don't want to worry about that? Or do you often wonder what's next? What will I do on top of this in my career? So is it all about your career and not the greater good of the organization? So this is a status. This is a very big temptation that a lot of leaders get into. Now, the next one is so again, get rid of status. Don't do titles and think of results. If you're in a position of leadership of a CEO or a VP or any organization, any of them I've coached with, I try to get you to understand that it's not about status. Now, I've dealt with this second temptation is very popular and common among people, and especially owners of businesses, is choosing accountability over popularity. But what I've seen is the verse and what he talks about. Do you consider yourself to be close friends with your direct reports? Dangerous? Does it bother you when the point of decision if they are unhappy with you? Do you get unhappy? Do you worry when you hold them accountable and they're unhappy with you? Do you get frustrated? Do you worry about them not liking you? So it's just a question to consider when it comes to status. And so popularity is very dangerous because a lot of people will try to use popularity and want everybody to like them versus accountability. And so accountability needs to happen. So you got to choose to trust over, be vulnerable, choose conflict over harmony, and choose clarity over, consistency. And we're going to talk about the next one. So this next one is really interesting, and I just thought I would want to share it because I've been really thinking on these as a read. And over 20 plus years, I now look back and go, wow, these really come to place with all the leaders that I've worked with directly or currently, is choose clarity over consistency. So choose clarity over certainty. So choosing clarity, do you pride yourself on being intellectually praised, or do you prefer to want for more information rather than deciding without all of the facts? So the biggest thing is, do you really have clarity? Do you understand? In choosing clarity, you got to get that structure first, the consistency, the roles, the expectations, making sure there's the right seat and the people are in the right area. And that's the problem that most leaders have, is that they don't have clarity. They want certainty. And you got to have clarity. If you can clarify and make sure that everybody knows and enjoys the details in their direction of what's going on in the meetings, and they're structured well, and that they have the cascading messaging is going down instead of being chaos and firefighting, it really goes a long way. So just think of that. So next one is temptation 4. And again, if you're joining me, it's late. If you see this the next day, awesome. I'm just playing around. I was up again late doing training videos and reading. It's usually when it's quiet in the house, and I usually try not to pull these late nights, but I thought I'd play with my live casting and get it familiar with it more, as Rusty and I are doing more. So if you're just jumping on, Matthew with MC Training Consulting Group, what we do is we come into organizations of having employees 5 or more, doing around 200,000 or more a year, and we get them to have cohesiveness and tighten up these things that I'm talking about, and getting more clarity in their executive team. This is not a train the trainer. This is not a coach. This is us coming in from industry, you to learn in this. So going back to this temptations of the CEO. So I'm on number 4, choosing conflict over harmony. So what does that mean? So in the book, he talks about this, and I just loved it. Is there a such thing as healthy conflict? And Jim Collins or Patrick Lencioni, he talks about this in the 5 dysfunctions of a team. That healthy conflict is good. In another system I use called the EOS, it talks about traction first, getting the vision second, and then healthy organization. Healthy organization is healthy conflict brings out the best. If you just want harmony and you want to rule in by consensus, and you want everybody to feel good, everybody to think that it's okay, then you're going to have a very tough time. Because healthy conflict is good. It helps people be accountable, and it flushes out a lot of things if you do it right. you want harmony over conflict. Conflict is not a bad thing if it's done in the right way. This is not, and this is a very fine thread that leaders have to learn. It's an art. You don't go in and cause drama. The drama will, you stay away from that drama will. You want people to question, are we getting results? Let's talk about it. Let's put everything on the table. Let's discuss it. As a term we use is in the system, IDS, what is the issue? Rip it off, discuss it, really get it out, get to the root cause, and then have a to-do and get it done and get your to-dos to done is the key here. And then the last thing, and then I'll let this has been on my mind, so I thought it would be a fun one at 30 in the morning. Give information that you might want. So here's the last one: choosing trust over invulnerability. So one of the things I noticed with CEOs, VPs, vice presidents, all those that hold very big positions in organizations, they will not be vulnerable. They will not show humility. They try to keep face. And I've been in pretty big organizations where they have a hard time admitting they're wrong, or their fear of their direct reports knowing that, and the humility goes out the door. So do you try to keep your greatest weaknesses a secret from your direct reports? Here's my encouragement: is the most respected individuals I've ever met is the most humble individuals that are willing to learn from their mistakes and be open and vulnerable. And it's hard for people when it comes to that. They think, well, I have a title, I'm the CEO, I'm the owner, I'm this big guru, or whatever it might be, or I'm this untouchable YouTube star. Like, we don't have any of those, right? Or TikTok, or whatever it is, and you can't touch me. And so this is where we want to choose vulnerability. That might not have anything to do with this, but just thought I'd throw it out there. So CEOs, one of the things that you just want to really drive home when it's a leader is, how do I show that I'm human, that I make mistakes, and that I will lead by example, but also that human touch. The one thing we're really losing today in today's society is conversation, because we're so tied into technology. We're hardwired that we have to unplug and have a common conversation without looking at our phones or being distracted or running or being overcommitted. So this common sense of intimacy or invulnerability doesn't exist anymore. So remember, teamwork brings by building trust. And this is the last thing I'll end in. So I'm going to say it again: teamwork. So the reminder here is, teamwork begins by building the trust, and the only way to do that is to overcome our own need for invulnerability. Brainstorm on transgressions. Go read this book. I really encourage you. It's 1:30 in the morning, and I'm in on it to, one, teach it, but also I'm going through and exploring it on myself. Where can I improve in these areas, and avoid these? So, avoid status, avoid popularity, avoid certainty, avoid harmony, and avoid invulnerability. So strategy of overcoming it is build trust, acknowledge your own weaknesses on that last one, that you make mistakes, and allow your direct reports to see you as your human side. That's it, guys. Hopefully you like this review on this book. Thank you, LinkedIn. Share it with your friends. I mean, this is good. Share it with anybody that leads somebody. Just share, because at the end of the day, there's so much noise. Share something that's going to give somebody something to think about, because I'm telling you, 20 plus years leading, I wish somebody would have shared this with me, because don't worry about being liked. Be comfortable that you're not going to always perform at your top, but be respectful and learn that popularity is not the answer here. So don't worry to be liked. It's just you have if you're running an organization and you're leading people, your responsibility is to that organization for the greater good. And here's the very big thing that a CEO, if you're a bigger organization, you have many CEOs, one person can sink the ship if they're not worried about these 5 things. If they dismiss them, if they don't take heed to them, if they don't really work on them or are aware of them, or they can just be a very bulldog kind of person. And is that what mission you want for your organization? So again, hey, reach out if you have any questions. Thank you for tuning in for a late night conversation. Take care, guys. Again, let me know if I can do anything. Jump on my calendar if you want a free 90-minute session of what we can do to help get your people from chaos to cohesiveness, but also to get your people plan within your organization. Take care, guys.